So now that it has been made abundantly clear that we should go to the Sentinel Enclave west of the city, or east of the city, something, I'm going to the docks. Okay, we already checked out the marketplace, we got our map, and we checked out the Cups game, which just couldn't seem to win. So I spent about the last hour trying to get the fonts to work, which I know is not a particularly interesting thing to hear about. So that's the Enclave, so it is east of the city, I guess. Well, we're assuming this is north. This could be south, or this could be north, and that would be, it doesn't matter. What are you? You're not cargo. Are you Tunlayak? Okay. You're not even a hotspot. But yeah, so on my, this is the first time I played this on my new computer. And the diary is completely, it was completely messed up. I fixed it. Took like an hour. Basically, I was just missing a font, but then I couldn't find the font because it cost like $29. I'm like, that's stupid. It comes pre-installed on like every single machine. Anyway, man, I hope we find her here. 'Cause she wasn't at the big boat, and she wasn't with the dude.
He's selling a variety of fresh shellfish and other, delicacies.
Okay,
Those guys must be part of the City Watch. They look a hell of a lot more intimidating than the Newport cops, despite the lack of an exoskeleton.
to be fair, the Newport cops are apparently hiring actors. Or something. He was actually doing a job, right? We can
I'm
talk
not in
to
the market for an
instrument.
instrument at this
Okay.
particular moment. Still...
Yeah. Lighthouse, ship, small pier. Those are some just huge boats in the background. I don't know if I already commented on them. But they're very impressive. And man, are they close together. Yeah, this just leads to this guy. Oh, well, actually, have you seen Tunlayak? Tunlayak?
How are you today, then?
Like you care.
I do care.
Do you know anything about a god that fell from the sky into the sea?
Of course. You find fallen gods most everywhere these days. They're an air and a hand.
Really?
No, of course not. There are no fallen gods in the sea. It wouldn't make much sense, would it? If the sea was full of gods just lying about the seabed.
So you've never heard of such a thing happening?
Now you got it.
Bye.
You've never heard of it? Well, fine. Okay. So yeah, it's just, there's the boat and there's the small pier, and the small pier has the maritime, sir. What? Sorry, it was
Hello
awful.
again, old man.
It be you.
Have you seen anybody looking for work? I don't want to hear any
See you
more
later.
maritime stories. I really don't.
If I not be dead, I...
What would you die from out here? Though speaking of the journal, I think I actually can probably show you some new things. Okay, so you read that one. When I asked Obnaxis about the Dryad kin, he didn't really know much about them, except for a story he'd heard about a god who fell from the stars into the ocean a long time ago. Whatever this so-called god may be, it's a fair chance it's got something to do with these dragonkin creatures. It might be a good idea to run this by somebody who knows more about the myths and legends of the sea. Which apparently is not dude guy who refuses to sign his name. I guess maybe we could ask about more maritime stories. Crap. Monday. I have no concept of what the Arcadian, or Mercurian, calendar is like, but at home it would be July 31st. Come to think of it, what year is it here? Anyway, that's not really the reason I'm writing an entry in my diary. Tobias told me about a library where I may be able to find some answers. That library is the Sentinel Enclave, just outside of town, and I'm supposed to speak with a minstrel named Yaren. He's a keeper of books or something like that, which probably translates into the equivalent of a librarian. Been told many, many, many times. Okay, well, glad you read that now. Because I think it's maritime story time. Carp.
Hello again, old man.
Eh?
These animations, man. Okay.
I'd love to hear some more maritime stories.
Especially any ones about gods
Sure,
falling from the
sweetie,
sky.
I'd be happy to. What story you be wanting to hear now?
Have you heard a story about a god who fell from the sky into the sea?
Aye, that I be having.
Yes.
Although that be a story of man-eating mermen who ravaged the sea of songs, swallowing sailors whole and spitting their bones out to
Ew.
dry.
Like an
Are
owl.
you sure you be up for hearing such a cruel tale?
I've heard worse.
True facts
Ye
about
be
owls.
a tough little lady, be you not? All right. Well, like I be telling yous, the sea of song surrounding the island kingdom of Gien be a treacherous sea where countless vessels have disappeared without a trace.
He just said disappeared normally.
Now, this be near 30
There's no
long
need for the
winters
apostrophe.
ago, mind, during me second term as captain of the trader
Oh, so
Lucky
you've seen it?
Lady. We've been crossing the Sea of Songs for 2 seasons, and we've yet to be seeing any sign of the
Oh,
dreaded
okay.
bloodthirsty mermen who lurk in the waters off the Guyenne coast.
Gien.
That night we be laying still with our sails down, awaiting the wind to pick up and carry us north to Mercuria, when we be hearing a
Mercuria.
frightful scream a-coming from the port side of the Lady Luck.
Sorry, I'm awful at voices. I should
I be
just
the
stop.
first to rush over on account of me having me arm down the apple barrel. We just been to Arras
Is
to
that
pick
a
up 100
euphemism?
barrels of sweet Guyenne apples.
And for what?
And as luck would have it, I be there just in time to witness Sally Barney's horrible fate. He be in the water, screaming and waving
his
his
name's
arms,
Sally, and he's
and the
a
water
dude.
around him be red as a midwife's arms after a grueling birth.
I get the picture. Go on.
Yeah.
Then I be seeing, I glimpse a large, shiny, sleek body be pulling Sally down and swallow him whole. It be the merman come to claim the body of the sailor who dare cross their sea.
What does this have to do with the
You
fallen
sure
god
it wasn't
bit?
a shark?
Do we have sharks in Arcadia?
Big fish with sharp teeth and dead black eyes
April.
and a large triangular fin on top?
April.
You mean a black-eyed snapjaw? I guess it could have been. But
Oh,
it be no
they do have
snapjaw.
sharks.
It be the dreaded merman of the Sea of Songs.
Where does the sea god fit into all of this?
I was wondering.
Aye, I be coming to that. You see, the bloodthirsty mermen be not only happy with cannibalizing sailors, but they be sacrificing their own to their dark old sea god.
Yikes.
Actually, unless the mermen are human, they wouldn't really be cannibals if they ate humans.
This is why I love April.
Blood sacrifices
He doesn't
to
even
their
blink.
dreaded god who lives on the bottom of the sea. Aye, that be the truth of the mermen, fierce and bloodthirsty cannibals of the Sea of Songs.
Thanks. Good story.
Aye.
Did that actually answer any questions? Let's...
I'm all storied out for now. Thanks.
Aye, ye tell me when ye want more, right?
See you later.
If I not be dead, aye.
Now let's see what April has to say about this. As soon as he gets done putting his pipe away, jeez. Okay. What is it with old sailors and long, pointless stories? I did manage to get some useful information out of the old man, however. He claims that the god fell into the sea, the one Abnaxis told me about, is worshipped by bloodthirsty cannibal mermen who live in the Sea of Songs. He claims that the god that fell into the sea is worshipped by bloodthirsty cannibal mermen who live in the Sea of Songs around the island of Gayen. I think that's how it's spelled. The fact that they're not necessarily cannibal just because they eat humans didn't really deter him from finishing his story. I'm having my doubts about how bloodthirsty these creatures really are as well. Seems like the monster he described in his story could be some kind of shark instead of a merman. Whatever the truth, if anybody knows about this god who fell from the stars, it would be the merman. Yeah, I guess that's a fair takeaway. Tunlayak is just nowhere to be found.
I wouldn't feel too comfortable about sailing anywhere in that. It's like a toy boat for children.
Yeah, it does look like it'd tip right over, doesn't it? Okay. I will postpone my map delivering mission for right now. I'm not happy about it. Not happy. Yeah, I mean, there's no one here to interact with or anything. Unless it's that guy. Tunlayak is a lady. Ooh, okay. So here we are. This is not what I expected a library to look like.
It's some kind of sandstone, very malleable, but also very vulnerable to the elements. These cliffs probably have huge, naturally formed caves and tunnels.
Were you a geology major before you switched to visual arts? I mean, that's just more information than I would know by sight. Though, can like a rock be malleable? I thought that was sort of I don't know, wouldn't it just break? Ah, whatever. Into the Enclave, then. There's like a harvester sitting on top of this thing.
The dragon's mouth is pointing straight down at the middle of the floor.
Yes it is. It's also got a weird thing on its face. Is that just the sun reflecting off of it?
It's a small recess about the size of my fist with a thin
About
duct
the size of
extending
your
from the
fist?
recess to the circular hollow in the middle of the floor.
Honey.
There are 3 others just like it, arranged with equal distance to each other in a circle and all connected via a duct to the center of the floor.
Your fist is this big. The circle is this big. But whatever you say. Yeah, that is what it is. They're connected via ducts.
It's a small recess about the size of my fist. It's a circular hollow about 20 centimeters across and about 5 centimeters deep.
Okay, so this one's bigger.
It's a small recess about the... It's a circular hollow about...
Do we have anything that'll fit in that? Got some coins. Not doing anything. We've got a screwdriver that's magnetic. Wait, can we use the... It is magnetic, right?
It's a magnetized screwdriver.
Can we use that in the Cups game somehow? That's an idea. Because magnets aren't magic. They won't be detected, but they should, I don't know. If we can feel some attraction, the screwdriver should be able to tell us, right? Yeah. gonna stand by that idea. Pocket watch does not go in any of these circles. Ring? What am I doing?
The dragon's mouth is pointing.
It is. Is it? Oh, there's a downstairs. Let's just try that. Okay. Yeah. Are you Minstrom? What's his guy? Yaren?
Oh,
That's swell.
oh, goodness me, I didn't hear you come in. By the way, you haven't seen Volume 6 of the Complete Annotated History of the Northlands, have you? I could have sworn it was here yesterday.
Sorry, no.
I guess someone else must have taken it. I try to tell them to write down what they borrow on the list, but they never listen.
I'll write down what I borrow on the
Only
list.
last week I spent 3 hours searching the entire enclave for the second scripture of the balance, the scripture of song, before I realized that Vestrum Tobias was studying it back in the city.
Tobias.
Now,
I
such
expected
incidents
better of
could
you.
be avoided if only, and this applies to you too, young lady, people would sign out the books they borrow when they borrow them and sign them back in when they're done.
I love
Such a
protocol,
simple
sir.
procedure. It shouldn't take more than a few seconds to jot down your name and the name of the book you borrow. It makes my job so much easier.
Solemnly promise.
Now, which book did you want me to find for you?
That's actually a good question. We were given the name of one
Are
book,
you Minstrom Yaren?
though I forget it.
Yes, of course. Oh, what a silly question.
Okay.
How would I know? I don't know you.
I am Minstrom Yeren, keeper of the great library of Marcuria. In fact, this is the greatest library of all the Northlands. Perhaps of the entire world. Although they say the Dark People have a
Dark
library as
People?
big, if not bigger, than this one. But of course, we're not allowed anywhere near there. Have you been there?
Why would I have been there?
I don't think...
What a silly question. Of course you haven't. You're not of the Dark People, are you? You don't look like any Dark People I've ever seen, so I can't see how you could possibly... Now, where did Volume 6 disappear to? Hmm?
You're pretty old. Let's
Tobias
try
said I
this.
should talk with you.
Tobias? Vestrum Tobias? I haven't seen him for... Well, he was in last week, but before that it must have been days at least. How is he? Still eating enough for 2 mules?
Is he
I
pregnant?
must tell you of this funny story
Oh,
I heard the
jeez.
other day. Of how Vestrum Tobias eats enough for a table full of minstrum. Or was it one Elguan? Although the Elguan don't, as a rule, eat very much at all. Did you know that the Elguan can smell water more than half a day's journey away? Amazing, amazing creatures, perfectly suited for life in the desert. The balance provides, that's for certain. The balance provides.
That's fascinating, sir. Truly.
Vestrum Tobias recommended that I look at some books.
April's not even responding.
Books is what we do best here at the Enclave, that is for certain. Which book would you like to see?
Oh, that's to the point. Okay, that's a lot of books. Well, let's buckle down and do this.
I'm looking for a story called The Silver Spear of Goriman.
I am.
Yes, a fanciful tale if I
Didn't know
ever
April
saw
liked
one,
Digimon.
but a charming one. Did you know that I'm often paid visit by adventurers wishing to read everything available on the spear so that they too can set out on their foolish quests?
I love foolish
Yeah,
quests.
don't you just hate those adventurers?
Well, they pay for my bread, milk, and butter with their contributions to the coffers, so I shouldn't be too critical of them. But they care not about the books. They care only about what the books can give them.
That's interesting.
I care. About the books, really.
I can tell.
Aw,
So,
April.
the Silver Spear of Gorimon, then?
Just slowly walk over there. Man, if I knew more about Digimon, I'd be making so many more jokes. Now I got the theme song stuck in my
I
head, though.
did find something of interest. I'll leave it here for you to read.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Okay. Yeah, let's read. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, this will not do. See how the font's all boring and stupid? I do not abide by this. No, this is not happening in
Are
my
you
LP.
done? Let me take
No,
that
I'm not
back
done.
for you.
I'm not done. Okay. I wasn't done. Okay. You and me. You listening. We're gonna do this. So I'm going to turn off the video. I'm gonna find that font. And I'm gonna make sure that it's beautiful. And then we can come back and we're gonna read every single one of these books. Every single one of them. You got that? Let's do this. We haven't been dialogue heavy enough this chapter.